It's our final day here well, my final day here in Malta. Here's what we're gonna do. First, we're gonna go to Food for Fit, nice healthy breakfast, and then we're gonna hop on one of the Bolt scooters. It's driving on the opposite side of the road here, and you do kind of have to drive the scooters more or less on most roads. You can go up on the sidewalk in certain places, so I'm a little like anxious, but I think it's gonna be fine. We're gonna have our espresso before we do it, so it's gonna be a little chaotic, but that's where the yoga and meditation is gonna come in tonight. I've signed up for a restorative yoga class at this, I think it's like basically a castle where Game of Thrones was filmed, and the reviews on it are amazing. I'm like next level excited. First things first, let's go get some coffee and then we'll hop on a scooter. We're gonna grab one of these like Bolt scooters over here and head to Valletta. It's also worth noting that before you come, or like while you're on Wi-Fi, download the Bolt app and download the Bird app. Like way more affordable than hopping in a cab or walking, especially when it's this hot. So I've made it pretty far on the scooter. You can see I'm like kind of around the marina now, but I just went to like turn around like the last curve and it's starting to really look like a highway. The Bolt app makes it look like I can ride the scooter on it, but I'm a little anxious about riding on what looks like a highway. I'm not sure, to be honest. We might have to abandon the scooter and walk. Okay, so small update. You can ride the scooters on the road that kind of looks a bit like a highway. To be fair, it's not actually a highway. It's just, like you can see, it's a road, but it's busier with a lot of curves, and that's I think what scared me. So these like 4 British guys just like zoom by and like keep going. So I was like, okay, I guess I can. Just have to go around like 1 or 2 more of these like curvy bits of the road, and then I should be, I think, in the main bit. So I'm gonna get back on my scooter and keep going, and hopefully we'll be there very soon. I'm definitely ready for a cold drink after this. And I stumbled upon a Pride event that's being set up, I think for tonight. So it makes me a little sad I'm not going to like be over here for this. You can see there's like the bands like rehearsing now. They sound really good. Like this really looks like it's going to be a vibe tonight. Well, that was a nice little surprise. After a little bit of research, I found out that Christina Aguilera is performing tomorrow, so I'm a little sad to be missing her. I was talking to the security guard, and she's like, both of these performers are like famous here in Malta. So that was a cool way to get to experience like a little bit of their musical culture. They're just like, they're really good. I can't put their songs in the video because of copyright issues, but I will put their names down below. And then you can look them up for yourselves, especially the first one, like super cool. So behind me is St. John's Cathedral, and basically it was built in honor of St. John the Baptist, who spent time in Malta. There's 2 Caravaggios. Because it is a church, you have to cover up your shoulders. I do have a shirt for that. Also, honestly, just really, I don't know I know I've been sick. I just got like a really bad wave of like exhaustion, so I'm gonna go find something to eat, regroup, get more coffee, and then hopefully we'll be back to see the amazing artwork. Right next to the chapel is the Great Siege Monument. It was built in 1927 to celebrate the Great Siege of 1565. So fun fact, you can see there's 3 figures up there. The figures represent faith, civilization, and valor. And then just underneath it, there's a little like vigil, like monument type of thing set up for a reporter here who was killed in a car bombing near her, like just outside of her house. She was reporting on and investigating corruption here in Malta. So it's basically just a collection of flowers and notes with the sentiment that like there needs to be justice for her, basically. So now that we've eaten and hydrated, I definitely feel better. I've also had more espresso because that always helps. I've come up with a new game plan. I cannot take my tripod in this church. Instead of doing this, we're going to maybe go check out another church called St. Paul's Shipwreck. Basically, there's a lot of churches in Malta dedicated to St. Paul because he was shipwrecked in Malta on his way to Rome to be tried as a political rebel. He was with the other apostle, Luke. They're both shipwrecked here. There's an island called St. Paul's Island with like a statue that's dedicated to him. People don't really know where exactly this shipwreck happened, just that it happened. He ended up in Malta for like, I think 3 months and like converted a lot of people to Christianity. Hence like the crazy amount of churches in Malta. But first, there's a Game of Thrones location really close to the restaurant I was eating at. So we're gonna stroll over there. It's called Eagle Street. It's a scene where Arya, the little girl, tries to sell a pigeon. But basically, Game of Thrones only filmed in Malta for the first season because the government decided they were a problem. Because when they were filming this wedding scene, they, I guess, put down like a tarp or something and then put sand on it. They were dressing the set, basically. And environmentalists said that they ruined the environment. So they weren't allowed to come back and film in Malta, which is why the next season they ended up in Croatia. So we're gonna go check out Eagle Street, go check out this church, and then I have to go back and get ready for yoga tonight. We're doing yoga, another like location where Game of Thrones filmed. It's the scene where they decided that somebody was getting beheaded. Ned Stark, that's his name. It's like the whole beheading like situation happened there. I'm fairly certain this is the street. The waiter told me it was called Eagle Street. Online says it's called Eagle Street, but I don't see a street name here and there's not one named on the map. My only tip off for this is the fact that I've seen 3 different tour like little buses come through and the last one was playing Game of Thrones music while they were talking in a different language. So I'm gonna bet that this is where Arya sold her pigeon. basically just saw free rooftop and was like, this looks interesting. It's the Valletta design cluster. You'll see a sign for free rooftop. It's beautiful. So we are really striking out with these churches. I got to St. Paul's and I did look. They're supposed to be open right now. The doors are closed, it's locked. Don't always assume that the internet has the answers, because apparently things just aren't always open when they say they're gonna be. I have about 2 hours before my yoga class, which isn't a ton of time, but it's enough time to maybe see like a little bit more of Valletta before I have to go back. On our way to Manuel Island, Manuel Fort, yoga. It should be really cool. This girl I just met today online reached out to me, is gonna join me. So I think it'll be really fun. I'm gonna run because naturally I'm late, almost late. I've got to book it. I found my friend Tessa, my new friend. She just moved to Malta, and we just met literally like online a couple hours ago, and now we're here. And we just did our little yoga class. What did we think?
Good, good, relaxing.
It was definitely different. It involved a lot of like fast breathing and jumping, and then thankfully
sore tomorrow.
thankfully finally we got to like lay down. It was a lot of like jumping around, I'm not gonna lie. We're definitely very ready for a drink. So we're gonna go grab a drink. Tessa knows a place that has happy hour late.
Right here.
Right here.